So as summer comes down to a close, I've had a lot of time to reflect on the IB program and what it did for me as a student. And I'll let you know what I've thought and what I've decided on. Was IB worth it or not? Stay tuned to find out. So, little disclaimer, this is not meant to hurt the IB program whatsoever. These are just my experiences. If you wish to take the IB program, go ahead and do it. I really suggest it. It was a great experience for me to meet new people and get a little bit more college experience than I ever thought. Now that we're back, I had to take a quick shower because I felt disgusting. The first question you're probably asking is, what is the IB program? The International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, or the IBDP, is a 2-year educational program primarily aimed at 16 to 19-year-olds. Basically, that's it's junior and senior students, and that's exactly when I took it. Like last year, I graduated already. This also says the program provides an internationally accepted qualification for entry into higher education and is recognized by many universities worldwide. It was developed in the early to mid-1960s in Geneva, Switzerland by a group of international educators. Administered by the International Baccalaureate, the IBDP is taught in schools in over 140 countries in one of 3 languages: English, French, or Spanish. In order to participate, students must attend an IB school. The IBDP students complete assessments in 6 subjects, 1 from each subject group, and 3 core requirements. Students are evaluated using both internal and external assessments, and course finish with an externally assessed series of examinations, usually consisting of 2 or 3 timed written tests. International assessments vary by subject. There may be oral presentations, practice work, or written work. In most cases, these are initially graded by the classroom teacher. Whose grades are then verified or modified if necessary by an IB external moderator. So now that you have background on the IB diploma, or like the program itself, let's get some background for me. I went to Rockwall Heath High School, and I was relatively up there in the education system, like definitely top 10%. I'll just tell you, I was 11 out of 600 students, like rank 11. And so I thought the IB diploma program would be perfect for me, right? I could not have been more wrong about that. The program did do what it was advertised to when I learned about it. It did give me a little more college experience. However, they're so specific in a lot of their in their grading. Like you saw how it says, the teacher in the class grades your projects or your presentations, and then an external moderator will grade it just to verify that the teacher wasn't helping you out or just being lenient. However, those external moderators, to me at least, they grade a lot more harshly. For example, every time, like my physics teacher, Miss Harvey, every time she said that she thinks she's grading it the right way, IB will always just throw a curveball and just change it. And that doesn't seem fair, right? Anyways, so first question that I brought up for myself was, what are some of the benefits of IB? Let me tell you, there wasn't that many in my case. I think I got really lucky when it came to the different people who were in IB, like the group I was paired with, because everyone in there was amazing. We helped each other up, we helped each other grow. Yes, we fought. We also made fun of each other a whole bunch. We ridiculed each other, but in the end, I feel like we've grown into like a second family. Not only that, just the students, the teachers were amazing. Like I mentioned already, Miss Harvey, Mr. Bishop, Miss Blackstone, and there was Coach Hammond and Miss Hargis. Another benefit with IB was that I think, like I said earlier, I think it definitely did help when it comes to college experience. The excessive amount of work that comes with the IB program, like I read earlier, there's internal coursework, practice work, oral presentations, just regular presentations that the class teacher wants you to have, that gives you. And these projects are given to you over a prolonged period of time. You have to work on your time management, which is an essential thing you need to have in college. You definitely don't want to be procrastinating when you get to college, because you're going to have a lot more free time than you do in high school. And the more time the longer you wait, the less motivation you'll have to actually do the project honestly, that's one of the big advantages of IB. It prepares you for college. I've talked to several like past IB students that say, yeah, college was somewhat of a breeze because I learned how to manage my time with the IB program. Okay, so the disadvantages of IB, what are they? In my opinion, the amount of coursework that it requires is just ridiculous. I know I've been using physics a lot, but we had to make our own experiment for physics. And keep in mind that I am not a very fine-tuned physicist. I can barely manage to understand basic concepts in physics. Creating our own experiment for a high school physics student who barely has a grasp on all the concept is ridiculous that we have to make our own lab, find data for it, and then make a lab report all over it, expecting us to, and it sucks because, one, we're supposed to find something, relatively new in physics, something they haven't seen before in these internal assessments. However, a lot of the physics that the students know are basic concepts in physics that the student just learned in year one. So with that in mind, the next point of discussion or disadvantage that I'd like to discuss is how specific IB is with their grading. The IB program is very specific in their grading. Like let's say this one assignment is graded out of, I think, 20 points just to get the grade that will lead to your overall score. But this particular assignment was graded out of, let's say, 20 points, and which the IB program calls mark band. The smallest detail that is wrong or relatively wrong in your experiment could be the difference between you getting, let's say, 18 points and 20 points, and thus that can change your overall score from you getting a 3 or a 4. Like, for example, one of my friends, I don't exactly remember who it happened to, but because they use a certain word in the definition on paper 2, which is like a free response test, because they used a certain word in the definition, they got that whole question wrong, and it was worth like 2 points, which again could be the difference between a 3 and a 4. But yeah, that was the big problem with IB, and it was just the grading and how, like, the standards for IB. And now I think I'm gonna go ask some of my friends what they thought about the IB program. Did they think it was worth it or not? See, I guess we'll find out.
It was, to me personally, I think it was worth it just because of the unique group I was with, but overall, if you're gonna take it like point for point, no. Not doing like getting the college credit or the work you have to put in for the amount that you get back.
I don't think IB is worth it if you're talking about like in perspective of college credit and all the effort that you put into it and all the time, because from my experience, our IB program was a little small. It was like 5 or 6 years old, so I guess I can't say it's for everyone. But we have to do IAs, and we have to do internal, that's IAs, external assessments. We had to do our TOK presentation, all this stuff, and our EE, which was like the biggest thing. And all the hours that I spent putting into that and putting all the efforts that went into it, I didn't see any results. So maybe it was just me, maybe it was the graders, who knows. But I was able to get some hours because I went to a state school. But for other people who went to private or they're going to bigger schools that are really academically focused, they wouldn't be able to get hours or any credit from that, and most likely they would from AP credit.
Right.
So it's not very easily transferred, so all the hours and all the effort that you put into IB rather than compared to AP, I think there's a big difference between that, but what you get out of it, I think you get more out of AP. But on the other hand, I met some of my closest friends, including Ethan, you right there, and Carson and Noah, and just other people that are amazing. We had a class of 15 that I spent every single day with, every single class. And sometimes it got a little rocky, but in the end, they're some of the most amazing people that I've ever spent my time with. So in that terms, yes, it was worth it.
I don't really know if IB was worth it. I mean, if you're going to the US for university. I don't think so. You got AP there.
Mhm.
It's more option. It's 1 year, and you get more credit that way. But I like the experience.
It was not worth it because I got more credits from my AP than I did from my IB, and IB was a lot more work.
Yeah.
Yeah?
If I did it with the exact same people, the exact same way, yes. But definitely not if it was with a group of people I didn't like. AP would give me a lot more credit that would be more useful.
I would if it was with the exact same group of people. I wouldn't do it under any other circumstances.
If I had the same people in IB, 100%. I love the people, but if I had different people in the class, then most likely no, because I think all the sleepless nights, all the stress, and all the crying and tears, you know, was not worth it for the same or different people. Yeah.
So I forgot to film the outro to this video, but anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this video helped out a lot on whether or not you want to do the IB program or not, or if you had any questions about it. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. Peace out.